round number 2. We have an Elves versus Loam matchup here, and this Elves player, let's just say, I don't see him miss very much. He's pretty sharp. Interesting sequencing there. Attempting to play a fetch on someone's end step. And that's not a start we see very often, is it? Opposing Ba use. He does already have basic forest in hand. So when he inevitably gets wasted... Oh, that's quite a good hand. I believe that he's going to be able to natural order here without any fear of counter magic, obviously. And without too much difficulty this game. Loam is going to be trying to play super fair. I don't know why we're trying to cast a... I don't know why we're trying to cast a chalice with a fucking fetch land. Come on, guys. See, maybe if this is Savannah. Yeah. So we've got a chalice on one on the table, and I believe that that was the draw for the turn. I didn't see the Scavenging Ooze in the hand earlier. If he chooses to play... Let's see. If he chooses to play Dryad Arbor next turn, then he won't make enough mana to try to hit Natural Order for quite a while. I wonder. I mean, this is a slow start from the Elves deck, but I think it's going to be sufficient to beat a deck with no counter magic. The lone player takes this opportunity to kill the 2/2 Scavenging Ooze before anything bad can happen. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so messy, man. Okay, continuing on. Let's get damage with a Wirewood Symbiote. And he actually did not play the Dryad Arbor this turn. So he can land it this next turn and natural order it away if he wants. So now he's going to have 2 Dryad Arbors. Let's see, how big would this natural order be if he just plays and sacrifices a Dryad Arbor to it? I think he has more time, but only a little. Here's 2 mana for Aegea's Cradle. 3, 4. This is interesting. This might just be a value natural order. Like, he's apparently not attempting to end the game. He didn't have enough creatures in his hand to do what he wanted to do. Unless, oh, he might have a main deck Progenitus. I mean, it's sort of old school. And no, he did not. I just watched through his entire deck. Okay, so we'll get Rex Sage to get rid of this chalice. I believe he still has some mana, and he can also still play his Dryad Arbor. And with the Wirewood Symbiote out, I mean, Punishing Fire is bad, but it's not going to to be as effective as it would be without the symbiote around. It's going to take at least one cycle to get rid of it. Creates 2 more mana. Plays a second symbiote, and now we're pretty covered, right? That's a lot of Punishing Fires to cast. I think that there's a series of night activations that could severely hamper the Elves player here. But that I don't have the knowledge required to speculate on all of the utility lands that he's playing. We get P-Fire back to his hand. So now, like, any draw of natural order is lethal. He hasn't seen any glimpses, and the knight has the possibility of making Merit Lage like quickly. I'm unsure if he's going to grab a red source or a utility land that's going to... Second Grove. Okay. This is going to make Punishing Fire much better. So he's going to get to work on the Wirewood Symbiotes. And the knight is a 5/5 now. I don't think that that's relevant except for being a blocker. And removing a Wirewood Symbiote in the beginning here makes a lot of sense. Especially if he's going to try to start attacking through the Elves. He chooses to bounce Rexade so that we can replay it for a future Chalice or just to facilitate Glimpse draws, although it's a very expensive Elf. Alright, the Loam player now has an untapped Grove so he can get Fire back, but he does not have the ability to recast one this turn. The Elves player has the Rexage and that Heritage Druid and drew a Glimpse for the turn, so he's going to start off with the Glimpse, and the Loam player might use Knight here to try to kill something. There's a bunch of utility lands that could be in the deck. So if we do this, then we still have access to, 1 mana from the Birchfloor Rangers. Because he's going to try to cast Heritage Druid here. Yep. I think that this is going to facilitate a response. Looks at his graveyard. Floats a mana and sacks a Bayou. He'll go looking through his deck. My first guess is Cabal Pit, probably. The pit that all the elves fall into. Yeah, so he pulls Cabal Pit up and then it's like gonna check his graveyard. So the Loam player is at Threshold, and I believe he has a black mana floating from the Bayou. So he can pick his target here. It's either Birchlore Ranger or Quirion Ranger for his picks here, and I believe it has to be Quirion Ranger. He's just a better utility card. In response to this, no matter what, Birchlore Ranger is going to generate 1 mana. And then this will stop the Heritage Druid from generating 3 mana when she gets off the stack and onto the battlefield. But provided that this Glimpse draws another creature, he can keep going a little bit. This game, he just hasn't had, like, Nettle Sentinel, which has been a big problem for him. Pick the Quirion Ranger, dude. Okay, he picks Birchlore Rangers and did not use the mana from the Bayou. I think that he's still floating a mana but has forgotten about it. And the Elves player will generate 1 green and draw for his Glimpse. Oh, it was the Green Suns. That's interesting. Untap himself, returning Dryad Arbor to his hand. Replay Dryad Arbor. This is interesting. So, the Elves player felt like he should get a Glimpse trigger off of playing Dryad Arbor, which is why he bounced it. So the thing is that actually you don't cast lands, right? But you do play them, and Glimpse literally says play a creature. Then it says spell. We were not going to get a draw from that. So does this Green Suns for 1, and then we can use Heritage Druid to generate 3 green and recast the Reclamation Sage. So let's go find what can help us deal with this Punishing Fire, really. He's either... He can't go grab Symbiote because it'll die next turn and it won't help you generate mana. We can get Deathrite Shaman because it's like the best elf in the deck. Yeah, and there's no draw from the Deathrite either, because we... Yeah, so we would generate 3 mana, cast Rex Sage, no target, draw a card. And I believe that his Glimpse turn will be over. Elves player will go up to 23 life. The life counter is wrong now.
플레이면 카운터가 되는데 안 되는 거 맞아. 좀 차?
He punishes the Heritage Druid.
24중이야? 어, 1점 차이가 지금.
Life total is correct again.
주소.
Oh, he's found a second copy of Punishing Fire. This appears to just be completely backbreaking for the Elves player. He cannot attack through this huge knight, who is eventually going to assemble something and destroy him. And he can't keep a creature on the board because of Punishing Fire. So the best that he seems able to do is just he's just treading water, kind of drawing extra cards every turn, and then getting just melted by 2 copies of Punishing Fire and 2 Groves. I think he's going to pack it in soon, and the knight is now controlling the board so well that we'll go grab a Wasteland and kill more of your stuff. We should note that the Loam player has no access to white mana anymore. Not really sure if he casts anything with white except for Knight. Probably not. Did you miss your Punishing Fire trigger there? I think he missed. Unbelievable. Guys. So Cabal Pit is still active here. So some questionable, a little bit of questionable sequencing there, but it doesn't seem to matter. He's so far ahead that he can't lose this game. So we'll shuffle up in sideboard here. Let's see if we can get a cleaner game out of these guys. The Elves hand looks a little land heavy. I think in this matchup, since you don't fear any counter magic, you don't have to try to grind with him. The Loam player is going to outgrind you if you play too fair. So I think you have to get a very aggressive, like turn 3 natural order hand. And I don't mean natural order for Reclamation Sage. We'll get a Bayou and make a Deathrite Shaman and pass the turn. Other options for turn 1 plays from Elves post board is a lot of Cabal Therapy, Thoughtseize action instead of creatures. He ramps into the turn 1 Punishing Fire anyway.
아니구나. 해. 뭐라는 거야? 헷갈렸어. 회치하고 회치하면 나와 저렇게. 나 지금 정신을 놨어. 무슨 개수작이야. 나 씨발. 이게 헷갈린 거야 지금.
And again, he's got no turn to play. It seems very suspect. Natural draw of Rex Sage. This hand seemed too clunky to me. It's still got the cradle. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Takes 3 damage from drawing Knight. And then rips a land off the top. Thank you, Bob. Alright, so Chalice resolves after Reclamation Sage. And there's so many lands. Is that another Cradle in hand? This is just... Is that 2 Cradles in hand? Okay, so now I understand why he tanked on this hand for so long. This is not panning out well for him. Hopefully the Loam player wastes the first Gia's Cradle. Alright, so Loam player is going to go find a 2-drop, which will be Gaddock Teague. So Gaddock Teague is actually, he's like a little questionable in this matchup. He doesn't do anything except shut off Green Sun Zenith. But with the Chalice out, then Glimpse just isn't going to do anything. He doesn't have any access to anything to destroy the Chalice again. So now Green Suns and Glimpse and all of his little 1-drop creatures are turned off, and he's facing down 2 Groves and a Punishing Fire. This is just rough. The Loam player really has Elves on lockdown here. Yeah, go ahead. So the Elves player is happy about that one. So is it time for Dark Confidant and Gaddock Teague to start attacking yet? Guess not. Gaddock Teague definitely. I don't know why we didn't attack there. Should place the other Gia's Cradle. He's ahead of the whole time. He elects to take the 2 damage, wait until end step, and then Punishing Fire the Rex Age. Draws Baron Moore from Dark Confidant. So this is curious. He's decided to start attacking with Dark Confidant, but not with Gaddock Teague. The Gaddock Teague is a 2/2. Am I going crazy here? Yeah, 2/2. So he just missed some damage there. I don't know, man. The Sylvan Library is going to help him churn through so many cards. So Dark Confidant will draw a card, and then Sylvan Library will look 3 cards deeper, and then you can rearrange for the next turn to make sure that Dark Confidant doesn't continue doing you damage. And he's just going to see so many cards here. Oh, and the Elves player did draw Green Sun Zenith. And this is going to be heartbreaking when he grabs a land and then attempts to cast Green Suns into a Gaddock Teague. Please don't do it. No, 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 no. And now with Glimpse turned off and Green Sun's turned off, he will just watch as the Loam player looks at the top 4 cards. And the Gaddock's still not attacking. That doesn't make any sense. He doesn't have access to white mana. So he can't cast that Knight of the Reliquary. You know, if he didn't have that Sylvan Library, I would have thought maybe it was actually possible for this Dark Confidant to kill him. He missed a library trigger. Oh. Gaddock still not attacking. There's so many curious things going on here that are just wrong. The library. He was already at discard last turn, so I'm gonna put 2 more cards in his hand. Oh, he gets his white mana back, so now he can cast Knight of the Reliquary. Then he finally attacks with Gaddock, so he stops missing his 2 damage a turn. So congratulations on that. He decides to go to cleanup rather than try to cast anything else. Just throws away a bunch of lands. And the Elves player is just bricking. Oh, this is painful. This is so painful. He's facing down Punishing Fire, and he's chaliced out, and he's going to die. I can't watch anymore, guys. I can't. Oh, thank God it's over.